Well, good afternoon. Well, can I say good morning to those that it's morning time, good afternoon to those that it's afternoon, and we're about to go into the evening. So I want to say good evening to all of those that are joining us today. We want to say thank you for being here. We can't do it without you. We appreciate the fact that you're taking time out of your busy schedule to be here. My name is Leslie Montgomery, and you are tuned into LKM Kingdom Living Leslie's Lessons Learned. And yes, I wasn't on last week, but I'm here this week, and I'm so excited about these women. We have one now, the rest are trickle in. But as we get started today, these young ladies, I'm saying young ladies, have written children's book, and that's something that you don't see too much of, or you don't really know. I mean, it's on the rise, I should say, because I hear a lot of women saying that they're writing children books now, but these books are authentic because these books are what they have experienced in life. And so I'm just so excited today to be here with my guest. My others will be here. Kisha, thank you for being here. She's a
You're
busy
welcome.
woman, and I just want her to take a minute to introduce the yourself to those out there and tell us a little about yourself.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Leslie Montgomery. This is an honor to be on your show. Thank you. My name is Kisha Edwards Gansey, and I'm really grateful to be here. I'm an author, and in my that's my passion is writing. I've been writing since I could hold anything to write with. I've been writing. And then in my daily life, I spend my time running a company called World Explorers, and we operate a childcare company in New York and South Carolina. We operate a preschool, camp, and after school programs and enrichment activities for children from the ages of 0 to 12. So we stay busy, our hands are full. I was telling someone just yesterday that just in every day around 2:30 there's a few hundred children that I'm ultimately responsible for, so I feel that in my bones. But it is a duty and it is an honor and a privilege. So I'm grateful that not only am I able to spend time with children in that capacity, but I'm also able to lean into the world of children and their beautiful childhoods with my art of writing. So
I
thank
love
you,
it.
Leslie.
I love it. I love it. How many children you have?
Three.
And I met her children. They are lovely children, respectful. Did you have one that just graduated or something, or near
My
graduation?
oldest is graduating on
College.
Tuesday. Yes, and heading to California to UCLA. She's so excited. So
How
that's a
about
big
mama?
change. Listen, I've cried my tears for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Yep. My cousin says she's trying to get in. Um, but listen, you wrote a children's book, and I want you to talk first of all about what made you. No, let's start here.
Okay,
Can you read one of your poems? You love to write poems, and I would love it if you could read one of your poems.
okay, I can do that. I don't mind at all. This poem is one that I wrote recently, and it's called Peppermint, and it's an ode to my grandmother Maggie A, who passed away in 1989 when I was 8 years old. And I'll read this poem. It's called Peppermint. I didn't know that would be the last mint from my grandma's pocketbook. My red stained, tingling tongue breathing minty air through my nostrils, smelling church, getting a whiff of a goodbye none of us knew was coming. 1989, our dearly departed. Yet the radio still played that day, and the quiet storm man still thought there was love at nightfall. He must have not known my nanny, cooking chicken and dumplings on the stove while hot sweet potatoes roasted in the cast iron oven. Our hunger waiting for Earth's caramel candy, straight from her garden, passed to us by her naturally oven mitted, soft leather hands. She could withstand fire, no magic necessary, no ghost of lives past doing the work for her, no likes, no praise. And that is how my stuck heart remembers her, passing peppermints, a small drop of fiery, sweet sustenance, eternally.
I love it. I love it. I
Thank you.
love it. And I love, listen, last year you did where you read a book and you would come on at night and read
Yes.
a book. That what was that book you read
The
and
Mattress
what made you
Chronicles.
choose that?
Yes, that was the Mattress Chronicles, and it is coming out this summer on Amazon as well. So I'm looking forward to that. I did. I read the book to my listeners on the Top Secret Storyline, and people called in and they listened to chapter after chapter. And at the same time, I also read it to a third grade classroom in
Yes,
Brooklyn. And it was a beautiful experience to just read it out loud. I got to know the story better. It also helped me with some little editing and tweaks that I'd like to do. So that is, I look forward to this summer, coming
I
out with
love
the
it.
official
I
book.
love
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, that was really different, but it was unique. And
Thank you.
it was unique, but it was something that was out of the box, and that's what I like about you ladies. You ladies are doing things out of the box. Hey, Renee,
Hey, sorry,
how are you?
I'm good.
Good, good. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. Just take a moment. I know you just got in trying to debrief or whatever, but if you could just take a moment and share a little bit of something about you and what you do.
My turn.
Your turn.
Okay. Hi, lady. Hi, Kisha. Hi, Leslie. I'm so glad to be on today. Well, a little bit about myself. My name is Renee Jackson, and I am a mom. I am a. I mean, I can list a lot of things, but I'm going to go with a mom, and that I um for the last, I guess, believe it or not, 19 years, because I have a 19-year-old. One of my
And who
main
might
jobs
that be?
with my oldest boy, and I have two boys. I'm a boy mom, and um, one of the jobs that I have really leaned into and loved is they all of their creative ideas that they have, and they've had them over the years, and um, I have one at one point. My oldest son was like totally into painting and like some kind of fancy painting, and then Caden, he was always saying, God gave him a plan and he wanted to help kids that didn't have moms and dads, and kids that need a little help. And that has evolved from like his church friends and his cousins to literally we are like partnering with organizations over our state and other states to provide hats, scarves, and gloves to kids. So, um, yeah, so that's one of the areas of my life that I've been very busy doing. So I don't know how
Good,
much you
thank
want,
you.
but
That's good. That's good. As you can see, both these ladies are busy. So I appreciate them taking time out of their busy schedule to be here with me today. I want to say good afternoon, like I said, to everyone that's here. Hey, Leslie. Leslie and Renee will be on at the end of the month talking about CEO and caregiving. So I'm excited about that as well. So as we continue on, um, Renee, you have three books. I'm saying you. I know it's the boys. You have Caden has two, if I'm not mistaken, or one that's about to come out, and
yeah,
then Corey has one.
sorry.
Huh?
Yes, I was just agreeing. I think I might have cut you off.
Oh, mm. Tell us a little bit about those books.
Okay. Well, Caden's Prayer, which is the first book that Caden did, he was 4 years old. When it was 2015 when we published that book. We self-published it. It's his story, and we basically told the story of how he got to the point of wanting to help kids that don't have moms and dads. And it started out with him having really bad nightmares. People call it night terrors, and over a period of time I read the 23rd Psalms to him. He repeated it, and after about a month or so, it was like he got it. Like he had like an epiphany in an adult or aha moment, and he was like, "Mom, I know what that means. It means that I'm loved and protected." In Psalms 23, I mean, the Lord is my shepherd. It made sense. But for him, as a 4-year-old, he said, "No, it means I'm loved and protected." And so we wrote his story, Caden's prayer, the little boy who conquered fear, and that he conquered fear with the word and internalizing it. And now he got this vision, this mission, this plan. And so that's what we wrote about. And it's resonated with so many families over the years because so many kids have nightmares for different reasons. They are afraid of the dark. They're afraid to turn out the light. But one significant thing that happened when he got his understanding of being loved and protected is that he went back to his room, turned the light out, and was able to sleep through the night. And over the years, we've had so many people who bought his book and shared it with whoever, niece, nephew, friends, whatever, who have come back to us and said, it worked. Like my child has been able to go to sleep at night. And so we're blown away because, we're just blown away by it. So that's been one of the main books that we wrote. And then recently Caden wrote a book, his first decade, and it's still in progress because we wrote it and then he's decided to change it into like a devotional. Not devotional is not the right word, but he's still working on it. So we're gonna just like that's still there. He's gonna put it out when he wants to. And recently we put out Corey's book, which is My Blue Sweatshirt, which it's really a story of a journey through loss and how to grow through loss and how to live through loss as a kid when you don't have the words to use. For him, it was a blue sweatshirt, and what he used is that sweatshirt with. I mean, we had therapy, we had advice, but bottom line is he was very sad about losing his, at that time, our family structure unit, and he had to deal with a new family structure where it was just the three of us. It wasn't the four of us anymore, even though I always will say no one died. It's just to him, his family as he knew it had died. It was like he was grieving someone. And so the way, honestly, I guess a lot of kids feel that way when, there's separation, there's divorce, there's people that you move away, you don't have that same structure and support system and comfort. And for him, it was just devastating. So long story short, we used his dad's blue sweatshirt for this little 5-year-old kid at the time. And that blue sweatshirt, it became like it really worked. And as a family, we watched him go from not being able to handle his loss to being able to put on this sweatshirt and embrace the fact that, you know what, I'm okay. Dad is close. I can call him if I need him. And over time, he grew to the point where he was okay. And he, the thing that people ask me today, because that was like 14 years ago, does he still have that blue sweatshirt? And one of the things about the blue sweatshirt is he would always fold it up and put it in a special spot. So if you needed it, he could go get it. So long story short, yes, he still has the blue sweatshirt. It's still folded up. It's still in a special spot. We've moved a couple times since. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. This is my cousin Brenda. She has also wrote 3 books herself, children's book, and she's joining us today. Hey, Brenda.
Hey, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Can you hear
Okay,
us?
I am so sorry. This
That's
day
all
has not gone the way I have anticipated. I've been
all
trying
right.
to listen, but I'm just connecting.
Okay, that's fine. You want to take a minute and just tell us a little bit about yourself? Thank you for coming on. Even if you didn't come on today, we was going to make this happen another day. I'm just glad that you're here.
Thank you so much. I'll try to be brief. I'm sitting in the hospital lobby, so I hope there's not a lot of background noise here. But Brenda Mitchell is my name. I live in North Carolina. I've written 3 children's books, and the the catalyst for writing these books came from my own son's life. I have a son that has special needs. He has oculocutaneous albinism. Many of you have heard albino. And so I had the opportunity to go to Africa when I worked for the Department of Health Sciences at UNC. And I met a little boy there that had albinism. And in Malawi, those individuals are not treated well at all. In fact, witch doctors cut off toes and fingers and things of that nature and use them for good luck potions. So when I saw this, when I went to a center, because I'm a speech pathologist by background, we were touring a center for occupational therapy. And I just went out on the porch and cried. And I said, Lord, why have you allowed me to see this? What do you require of me? And through prayer, I realized that he wanted me to help inform and educate people about albinism and differences. And therefore, I started writing these books, and my son is the superhero in the book. I have 2 sons. So the first 2 books kind of focus on the one son with albinism. But then my other son said, well, you know what? You got more than one son. And so I wrote it from his perspective, sharing about his family and how they're alike and not alike. So since then, I've had people translate it into Spanish and Chichua so that it could get to the children in Africa. And I'm collaborating with an occupational therapist to do one on osteogenesis imperfecta. So these are all children's books, but our focus is to help people understand disabilities or other abilities. And then I'm also working with a pediatrician on a new one, and that one is looking at kidney disease in children. So they all have their superpowers. They look in the mirror, and then they remember what God created them to be, and they learn to shine. So that's kind of a little bit about what I've done, and I'm just enjoying it. I just retired from my full-time job about a year ago, and so this is what I'm doing now, and I'm just loving every minute of it.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Renee's book, or Caden's book, is also overseas.
Yeah, yeah. It's Cadence Prayer has been translated in Amharic which is Ethiopia's main so.
Yeah. These ladies are so unique in their gifts. And Kisha, your book, and each one of their books has something related to family. Something, and that's what I love about it. That it's they're authentic. They're written from the heart. They're written from the heart. Not saying that other books aren't, but they wanted to bring out things that has happened in their family some type of way, so that others could also get blessed by it. Not just have a book out there, but to be blessed by it. So tell us about your book. And I hope, well, I'm Brenda, I know you probably don't have your books on you, but Renee, you have yours nearby at
I
some,
I have Caden's book,
okay.
um, which is it's been illustrated and everything. And Corey's book it's online. Like
Online, that's right.
yeah, you can order it online. It's a ebook. So
That's
so
right.
Caden's book is this way, and the one that's translated into Amharic, you can also order that one online as well.
I have
So
not done you ladies justice, because I should have had your link in there for people to order your books, and I just realized I didn't put them in there. But Keisha, tell us about your book.
Sure. So my book, this particular children's book, Brown Brown Baby, is a lullaby, and it's a bedtime story. The moments before sleep are incredibly important, and it's a time for connection, it's a time for leaning in, and it's a time for closure. And I don't know if you've experienced this from your own memories or experiences, but lullabies can be very tragic historically. A lot of them are about things falling apart, actually. That one of the most popular lullabies, Rockabye Baby, is about a baby that falls out, of the cradle,
Right.
the baby and all. Just, that's a lot. And, for that to be like a bedtime song is like, it's kind of nutty, right? Like when you really
Yeah.
think about like, if you're going to find something, the last thing to say before bedtime.
Right.
So, yes. So Brown Brown Baby was for me just a sweet song that was a way to like lend a balm to the day. And it's also a story of praise. The text says, "Brown brown baby, skin so sweet, tastes like a cup of honey bush tea." It's just like praise, like poetic praise for the children, and they all need to hear that. They all
Yeah.
need to hear that, and so that's where it came from. My children and bedtime was they were it was just like a special time where we would connect and be able to read and sing together. And so that's where that particular book came from. Just a deep, deep love for children and the need to send them to sleep in a beautiful way.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. And it's needed. It's needed in our community in the kingdom to have something different than what the society has to offer them. Yeah, you think about a lot of those nursery rhymes that
Yeah.
were not really healthy,
They're
but they were
tragic.
out
Yeah.
there, and we were saying them to our children, or not everybody, but we were saying them because that's what we knew. And when you really think about it for a moment, we need to change up some things. So I hope this is not the last one you do. I hope
Oh no.
that you do more. So yeah, so I was trying to reach what was being said. I'm sorry. I'm not one that can talk and read.
That's fine.
So when you think about how it started, like you just said, how each one of you really said how your story started, and how has it affected, is it affected or affected you in writing it? If you think about it, how did it affect you when you was writing it? Did it did it cause you to really think about some things, and did it was it health not I know it was healthy, but what am I trying to say? Did you what did you get out of it by writing it?
I
What
can answer
actually
that.
Okay.
Yes. You know, it feels like it gave me confirmation that the work was necessary. A lot of times when we have ideas and we are just thinking about doing something, we don't always know like how it will be received, or if it is something that's worth doing. And then when you do deliver it, and then you have people reading it and understanding it and realizing that it's integral now to their lives. I was sent a video recently of a friend who, her son, who's like 1 years old, wants to read it like 20 times in a row. Like every time she puts it down, he starts to cry. And it was,
Oh,
so I was like, oh my gosh, like this is like a part of his childhood.
Oh,
uh-oh, she accidentally dropped off. So Brenda, what was that like for you? I know that you had the whole experience. Now Renee has had a different experience, but oh, she's back. Can you hear us?
I think I lost, did I lose connection there?
we can hear you now.
Can you
Hmm.
hear us?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I can't hear anyone.
You can.
And
You might have to go out
Maybe
and
come
come
back to
back
me. I
in.
think I had a little spotty connection. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Were you finished with your story? Oh, she
Well,
can't.
and well, if you'd like for me to share while she's gone and coming back again, it
Sure.
has been extremely impactful for me to write these stories. The first one is about bullying. The second one is about race relations, and the third one is just about families, how we are like and not alike our family members. And it amazes me how many parents have come to me saying that it has opened up conversations with their children, even if they don't have albinism, but they can relate to, dealing with bullies or dealing with race relations and things of that nature. So I just feel honored that the Lord has chosen to use me in this capacity, because his ways are so much higher than ours, and we'll think we're doing it for one reason, and God will open up other doors and it just blows our minds. So
Yeah.
I just had no idea that it would take off like this. It was something that I was doing almost as therapy for myself, and God just moved in a mighty way. So I'm just so grateful and humbled by it.
Yeah, and that bullying piece of it is so real today
Mm-hmm.
in the school system. And you know what? When we was little, it was it was real, not as real as it is now. But the
Mm-hmm.
children used to say mean things, and they used to do mean things even back then. But you might have had one or two bullies. It's not like now it's groups. I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
had groups back then, but now it's like it's group of children that's coming together against one child, you know, and it's really almost, I want to say, like a pandemic, in the school system. And it's something that we really need to deal with, something that we need to talk more about. Renee was even what Kish is talking about as far as children having a peaceful mind when they go to rest that night. That peace of mind is so important. It's important for their sleep. It's important for their spirit, man. It is just so important. And Renee having to have to write, okay, Renee, Caden's book,
Yes.
Psalms 23, because of nightmares, because of not sleeping well at night, and how that has affected him and other children tremendously. Brenda, if you have to go, it's okay. Um,
I'm sorry. There are people around me, and I don't know if it's distracting to you all. So I keep putting my thing on mute, not
okay,
to take away. I don't know if you all can hear, but I'm in a lobby, and so people are kind of passing by and stopping. So I apologize.
no problem, no problem. Okay, um, so Renee,
Yes.
if you begin to think about, and we've had Caden on. I want to have him on again because now he's in highlighters, right? He has, and I think that is so amazing. In my mind, I was like, wow, how did he do that? So I'm going to have him on so he can tell the story and how he has his story in highlight. When I was just thinking, I said, Renee could do a book on Caden by himself, his journey and all the stuff he- you know he's in, and he's getting a part of, he's being interviewed, just so many things that are happening. Because and you thought it was uh just writing a book, you thought it was just helping a few children, and now it's gone from a few children to over hundreds
Yes.
that now you guys are helping. So what it was that experience for you like?
Okay. What comes to mind right now is when Kaden was 4, 5, and he was in the back seat of the car in his car seat, and when we would go to Chick-fil-A, which was their favorite place, and that was where we would have our business meetings because he had gotten this God plan earlier in the year. So I would say, well, Kaden, tell me, what do you think? Like, tell me, what do you want to do for these kids that you feel like you're supposed to help? And he would dream like, we haven't even touched on all the things that he would say from that seat. It just blows me away. But he would say, it was around kind of what Kisha was saying about bedtime and how sweet it can be and how important it is, no matter how crazy their day is. If you have like a good story and it's just
Mhm.
like, they're comfy in their bed, it just makes a difference for whatever the day brought. And so I can remember him sitting back there and saying, like, I want to do pajamas, like, because, it was loved and protected. It was still his story. And he was like, I want to make pajamas. Oh, and maybe pillowcases And he would just be thinking of like bedtime items that he would want to do with the book, Caden's Prayer, which hadn't come out at the time. We were just talking about it. And so fast forward to today, we've done the Comfort Pillow, and now we have a Love Poo. And the Love Poo, we haven't done a lot with the Love Poo, but it's basically a comfort bear, and he has like a loved and protected t-shirt on, and you can the child can wear one that matches, but the whole point is just like it brings comfort that they're wearing the same shirts and everybody is feeling loved and protected. And so I think that this story, which is really Caden's story, has changed our mind about how whatever you go through, it can mean something to somebody else. It can help someone. And I hopefully I answered your question.
Yeah. So, but when you think about it, look at all the things that have expand from it. It's like you guys had the root, the tree grew, and now you got branches coming out of it. And I think that that's amazing. A lot of times, and I've said this before, we take it for granted when our children are that young and say that they want to do something, or to really just, and usually we'll say, oh, okay, or that's cute or something like that. But you took the initiative to take it and begin to build on it. And I applaud you for that, because at 4 years old, we're like, oh, that's cute, more so than really taking it and embracing it and growing on it. So I want to thank you for just taking the time to, to do that, because it takes time, when in October, well, really before October, you guys will start putting the hats and gloves together, and all those months, October, November, December, you're collecting and you're packing, and it takes more than a notion. So, and
Yeah.
now he has added the teenagers, doing things for the teenagers. So really, I think that's amazing. I don't know. I don't want to just keep talking. I I don't know if you ladies have something that you really wanted to share in this moment about what you've done.
I'm going to I'll share something, and then I know everybody else has something to share, if that's okay.
Sure.
I think I'm going to share in this moment that for me, I feel and it honored. I can honestly say when Caden said, "Mom, I got a God plan," I heard God speak. Right? He's 4 years old, and God gave him something to do that he was too little at the time to actually carry out. So, and I will tell you, I'm just a part of that. What I have seen is, even with, like you said, Keaton was in the highlights or is in the highlights magazine. Someone sent us an email who said, "Oh, I saw him somewhere on something, and I thought it would be good." I literally was like, "Is this person real?" Every little thing, TV interviews, someone told us about you guys, because I'm like, how did you even find out about Caden? Like, all over these years, and this year we're gonna actually do like a celebration, 9-year anniversary celebration, and he has like a wish list up, and we're just trying to be more proactive because he wants to help more and more kids. Like, ultimately, at the end of all of this, we still want to give lots of kids a hat, scarf, and glove set, which might not seem like much to someone, but it is much if you don't have much. And so I think that to be able to share this out with adults who can share it out with someone else, to say, hey, go check out Caden's page, go to his wish list. And on his wish list, hat, scarves, and gloves. That is what we do. And we make sure that that children from the hospital, from Children's Hospital, loves to get Caden's hat, scarves, and gloves. And we were able to partner with Adventure Bags this year, which gives to kids who are homeless or dealing with homelessness and foster care throughout the entire state, through fire departments, police officers. So all the more reason to like sound the call to say, hey, decide to support him by giving getting on his wish list and giving hat scarves and gloves, because he actually is doing what God put it in his heart to do, which is help these kids, and it's getting like passed around. So, that's all I would like to say, is that we're just helping hands in what God has put in Caden's heart to do. So,
I think it's interesting because we can't leave out Rhea, because Rhea does her part to help, even with the creation of things and making sure things come, that the t-shirts and all those type, the pillows and all those type of things. But one thing that sounds funny to me is that you're saying we're having a celebrating 9 years. This little boy started out at 4 years old helping children, and we're talking about a 9 year celebration. That's just seems so funny to me, that he was 4, and 9 years ago, at 4 years old, he started serving. That's awesome.
yeah.
That's really awesome. So, Kisha, if you had to, well, I know you're doing other books, but if in the process of what you're doing, would you say that your children played a part in the things that you do?
Oh, sure, definitely. From making up little rhymes and stories for them constantly and singing to them constantly, they were definitely integral. And a constant inspiration. Still, like now they're all teenagers, but still a constant inspiration. And working with preschoolers and elementary school students all for the last 20 years, um, art gets kids' attention. A good story is a great way to get a group of kids listening. So from hand games to like a little rhyme to let's think about this to time on the carpet, like you pull out a book, you're taking them somewhere. It's the cheapest plane ticket
Mm,
is a book for sure. Because once you open that book or you open your mouth to tell that story, you're going somewhere else. So for sure, I think that all of the children of over the last 20 years, including my own, have played a pivotal role in everything that I've ever created.
yeah, and that's good. But I'm going to ask you, ladies, if you could put your links out there so that I'm on Facebook trying to find them, but I'm not being too successful at the moment. So if you could just put in your links so that people that are interested can purchase your book, I would appreciate that. I don't know why I didn't think about that in the beginning, but Brenda, I know that retirement, but even in your retirement and writing the books, and I see you embracing your grandchildren and the love that you have for your grandchildren. If you write another book, or when you write another book, can you would there be a place in there for them? Are you thinking about writing something with them, you know, to share? Can you hear me? We can't hear you. We hear static, but we can't hear you. Um, so everybody's book is on in the chat. If y'all can write in the chat, um, what the names of your books are, uh, that would be helpful, and then they can go on to Amazon, because I see everybody's book is on Amazon, and purchase the book from there if you don't mind. So can you guys write in the chat?
I don't think I'm able to, but I also wanted to mention that for Brown Brown Baby, in the back of that book, there's an original harp composition that is the song that accompanies it. If a family member wants to sing the book, and it's composed and recorded by Grammy Award or Grammy nominated harpist Brandy Younger. and the book is illustrated by Luba Asadorova. So I just wanted to mention that it could be just listened to, and or
So
the
do you
family can.
sing?
I sing. I mean, I've always sang the book. That's it. The book is best sung for sure.
Can you
So, but
sing
I
it
don't have
now?
a recorded version. Oh gosh, no, now you can put.
What's the
I
words? Do you
cannot.
know the words?
But I can give you the general. I can give you a general melody, and it's Brown Brown Baby is brown brown baby, skin so sweet, tastes like a cup of honey bush tea. The sun loved you before you were born. Now sleep like the sun till the early morn.
Love it.
So
Love it.
that's how the
Yeah.
lullaby goes, and and so oh look, thank you. But there's more, and the actual music to go along with it is inside the book.
Wow. Okay. So did you put in the chat what the name? Oh, that's
Brown Brown
Brown
Baby.
Baby.
Yes, for some reason I can't type into the chat, but it's called Brown Brown Baby, and it's available on Amazon and on Kindle.
Okay.
Are you able to hear me now?
We
Yep.
can hear.
Okay, I really apologize for
That's
this.
all right.
I'm outside now. I thought that was going to be better, but I can't tell you if it is or not. But I tried to write each of the books in the chat. I don't know if you all can see it, but Anthony's Adventures, Like Me But Not Like Me, then Anthony's Adventures, Making Waves, Anthony's Adventures, Already a Winner. So those are the 3 books that are out there already. And your voice is beautiful. Thank
It
you for
is.
Oh,
saying
It
thank
that.
you.
is.
Oh my gosh. And Renee, your story is awesome. So I've been listening. I couldn't talk very much, but because I was trying not to distract, but I am so impressed with you ladies.
Same. Thank you. Thank you so
Mhm.
much.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
And Leslie,
Um,
I think I'm going to go ahead and get off because it's
okay.
just problematic for me to keep trying.
Okay. And you'll come back on and we'll
I'll
hear
be
your
glad
story.
to. Yes,
Yeah. Thank you.
absolutely.
And
You
you
all
have an
take care.
amazing
God
day and thank
bless.
you.
Thank
You
you so
too.
much. Nice to
All
meet
right.
you.
Bye bye now.
Bye bye. Um, Renee, I see you have Caden's book. Can you read a insert? I did that wrong, didn't I, Kisha? Um, Out of Caden's book.
Let me see. Okay, so this section is the parent or the adult reader is supposed to read with the child. So I'm going to let me see. Okay, so let me see if I can figure it out here. So she began to read to me. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. She then said to me, Baby, I want you to repeat these words. In a soft voice, I began to repeat every word that Mommy said. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. She continued to read. I followed. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. Then he restores my soul. Then Caden reads, He restores my soul. I didn't understand what it all meant, but saying those words made me feel calm and secure. So that's just one page out of it where you're reading it together. Um, so
Yeah, I like that. Kisha has sung to us. Um, is there anything else you'd like to add, Kisha, to what we're saying as an educator?
Yes, I mean, I just want to thank you for providing this platform specifically for children's books. It's so important that families continue to read real books together. I remember the first time that I had a 2-year-old come into the preschool and not interact with the book in a way that I was expecting. They were tapping the pictures. And I realized in that moment that, wow, like, like the screen influence is very serious. And and it is disruptive to a lot of the energy that is very necessary for the best childhood development. So I just want to encourage everyone to just continue to have story time. Try to make it tangible when you can. Try to make it fun. That even if it's like 3 minutes, it will change everything. So I just want to thank you for highlighting the importance of books and children's books for families, and for everyone to know that yes, they are important, and keep doing it. Get the real versions, get the ones that you can beat up. They are integral to everyone's childhood experience, and for the adults too. They're good for everyone.
Yeah, and one thing about it is that we have allowed our children to be on electronics, and they're not getting the full effects of reading. Uh,
Yes.
and not that they can't read on the social media, but usually they get caught up in doing everything. So it's very important that we bring back into the foundation tangible books.
Yes.
Tangible
Tangible
books.
books.
Yeah. And children really, I remember a girl that I used to go to church with, and she said her girls was doing so bad. And what she did was she took all the electronics, put them away, and started taking them to the library every day. Their scores went from mediocre to over the top A's, getting honor rolls, getting certificates, because she took them from the environment of the electronics and put them back in the library. People don't even really go to the library anymore. But
Yeah.
if you take time and go to just let them, even if they don't want to read, if you take them to the library and you put them in the library and say, we're not leaving till you find a book you like and read it, they will become so infatuated. I don't even know if infatuation is the way to read read oh infatuated to reading. Reading is a very valuable portion of a child's life, not just a child, all of us.
All of us.
It
Yes.
keeps our minds fresh. It keeps us, keep us aware of reading. Society has made it so that they have taken us away from reading natural, tangible books to everything being ebook, and it gives it a different uh, feel, a different. I. It's just different. It's
Yes.
just different
It is.
because
And
now you can go on. You don't have to read yourself. It reads it to you.
that's
So
right.
now our children are having these books that's reading to them, and they're not really putting in the skill for reading.
That's right.
You
And
was
there
going to
is,
say something.
yes, and I want to add to that that there is something very special about waiting for the next page. Like the patience of waiting for the page to turn is very
Wow.
important. It teaches patience. It's a very beautiful suspense because you're invested in the story, and those are all very healthy feelings to be waiting for that page to turn. So that that can't be really replicated with technology. They try, but there's certain things that we just got to keep a hold on to.
So in other words, it's anticipation.
Anticipation.
They
Yep.
anticipate the next page of the story.
That's right.
That's
And if you ever
amazing.
heard kids say, turn the page, like when you're, sitting there and you're reading them and they want to know what happens next, but you can't know until you turn the page. And that's a powerful moment in
Yes,
learning.
it's a journey.
That's right. It's
So
a
it's like
journey.
they're on a journey, and
Yep.
in that journey, every page takes them deeper into the story.
That's right.
That's powerful. Lisa Carter, I did put Renee's books up there, Loved and Protected, and also my blue sweatshirt. Thank you for your participation and with these book with purchasing these books. We appreciate it. So, any last words, Renee?
I well, Okay, so Cadence books are on his Instagram page, which he has a shop. I guess you can click on it on the shop and get his book. It's not. It's on his website. It's not in. It's not in Amazon. It's not on Amazon.
Okay.
You can get it
Okay.
that way. You can go to lovedandprotected.org, I guess, and yeah. So yeah, that's the way you can get it. And Kate and Corey's, the both books are out there that same time. So you can go to lovedandprotected.org. I love this conversation. It's just bringing back so many memories. And one of the things, since comfort is one of our focuses as Loved and Protected Foundation, we definitely feel like we are bringing comfort to children. And what Kisha was saying about reading, there is just something amazing even about this. The whole building could have burned down and everything crazy can happen, and you can make a child comfy at night and read an amazing story, and somehow it gives them peace and lets them go to sleep. So we cannot get rid of the bedtime stories, because we don't have the answers all the time, but a bedtime story can answer so many questions and speak to so many things. Even something as simple as the good night moon, good night, like it just dials them down and helps them to relax and go to sleep, and that's what kids need. So I love this conversation. Yeah.
Thank you both for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here today. Listen, if you have not had a chance to hit the like sign, subscribe, or share, please do so now before we get off. Someone else might be out there that are struggling with their children and trying to find out ways that could help them engage. One of the things I would say is that when you read to your children, even at night, if you take your book and you read to them before they go to sleep. My grandson does not go to sleep without a book being read to him. And not only does he get a book read to him, his mother sings to him. And he looks forward to that every night. And I think it's a beautiful thing because it's also connection. We're connecting with our children when we do these things. And the stories in the book brings life to them, and it causes them to have an imagination. It causes them to think outside of the box. And I think that that's something that we really need our children to do today, is to think outside the box. I just really appreciate it for you ladies being here. And yes, we are excited for where you guys are going, how you're helping children, and how you're changing lives. Because believe it or not, every child that reads that book is getting a life-changing experience.
Thank
And
you.
there's joy in it.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much.
You're welcome. Any last words?
No, just I'm grateful. I'm always grateful to be in good company. Thank you both.
So let me ask you a question. Are you South or in New York right now?
I'm in South Carolina right now.
Okay. Yeah. Kisha has 2 children's centers, daycares or
Yep,
learning
preschools,
centers.
camp and after school programs in Brooklyn, New York, and Greenville, South Carolina at World
Right.
Explorers.
Yeah. So that's a huge spread in places. So that means you're going to have to put something in between, Kisha.
That's right. Virginia or Maryland, I guess. I can stop on
Yes.
the way.
Yes. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you for your hearts, that you have a heart willing to share with someone else to make their life so much better, and to show them that there's a brighter way. There's parents out there that don't know what to do with their children. And every time they turn around, their children is talking about they're bored. But let me just encourage all the parents out there. Take a moment and read. If you have little children, take a moment out of your busy schedule and read to them. Not only are they getting educated, you two are bonding, and there's a love connection that comes from you being in a place of reading to your child. So don't take it for granted. Don't send your child off because you're so busy. Your child needs that moment. And you need that moment to connect to them. And a lot of times children get older and they're not connected because they never got connected from the child from little. So I just want to encourage you today. You can make it. And there's answers. Get your book today. Take them to the library. Take time out. And that's a moment for you to, while they're in the library. I used to take my granddaughter, when she lived here, my grandson, I'd take them to story time at the library, and they loved it.
Mhm.
And then the pandemic came, and things changed. But if your library is still open in your area, take full advantage of that library. It's not antiquated, it is still necessary. So until we meet again, I want to say thank you all. We love you. We're so glad that you joined us today. And until we meet again next week, I have caregivers coming on. I have Pastor Darlene Thorne and Doreen Demdy. And they have caregiver ministries, and they're going to come on and talk about that next week. The week after that will be Leslie Barnes and Renee again, and they'll be talking about the collaboration of their two businesses that help households. So please join us on Sunday. We'll be back still talking about You Matter. Until we meet again, have an amazing day, and thank you so much.